Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back here today with Daniel Muggleton.
I feel like some people in Perth are what happens when you give unskilled people too much money. Is that fair?
I've got a clip about FIFO workers being dumb cunts that is currently going viral.
There's a lot of people with a lot of confidence and absolutely zero competence just fucking strutting around.
How are you, Dan?
I'm well. It's good to be here at the emptiest I've ever seen this venue.
Yeah. Personally, it's my favorite.
You like this? This
yeah,
is preferable?
Yeah, I'm used to this.
Yeah.
Have you had a good day?
I've had a good day. A pretty good day.
Yeah?
I went to my favorite thing about Perth, which is a place called Bagels in Mount Lawley.
Okay.
But I go there for the sandwiches, which sounds anti-Semitic, but I promise it's not.
So they make bagels, but good sandwiches.
Yes, like I think the sandwich outranks the bagel just because they kind of do the loaded bagel, and I think personally, like a bagel, like 1-2 filling maximum.
Okay.
Whereas the sandwich, you can load it up, and the bread's unbelievable. I get the pastrami sandwich. That's what I get.
Nice.
I like it. I've been there. I discovered it, and I've been in Perth for 4 days since that discovery, and I've been there 3 times.
Oh, nice.
I go there every day that I can. I might go there tomorrow before my flight out. And my flight out, I have to get to the airport at like 9.
Where are you heading?
Edinburgh for
Edinburgh.
the Fringe Festival.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
That's why I'm here. This was a very convoluted attempt to bring down the overall cost of flying to Edinburgh. So I flew from
Oh, so
Sydney to
it's cheaper.
Perth, and then Perth to Edinburgh to save $200, and I picked up some gigs to kind of like. It's dumb.
That's capitalism, baby.
It is
I love
capitalism, and it feels good.
that. So where are you from originally, man?
I'm from Sydney.
Oh, Sydney.
I'm a Sydney
nice.
person. I still live in Sydney. I don't like Sydney. I feel like everyone thinks Sydney people are like wankers, and yes, we are because we're objectively better than you. But like, I don't like it. Like, I don't live there because I like it. I live there because my parents live there,
Oh, okay.
and I want to be close to their wills. Like, that's it. That's the reason.
Oh, nice. And how long have you been doing comedy?
Just over 10 years now.
Fucking hell, man. So you just finished the internship?
Yeah, apparently.
Because that's what they say, hey? 10 years.
10-year internship, 5 years learning how to be funny, 5 years trying to figure out why you're funny. But yeah, so it feels good.
Well, now that you've hit that that landmark, do you think that's true? Like, what's your opinion
I
on
mean,
that?
well, judging by the fucking response to this so far, no.
Well, I was laughing.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seemed a bit forced, but like, no,
Well, it was.
I appreciate the honesty. No, so yeah, I don't know, like I feel like everything I do is better than the last thing I do, but like also. Maybe that's just wishful thinking, you know? I think that's one of the funny things about the whole reels and like putting things out online.
Okay.
Because like you run out of stuff, so you have to release old stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And then your old stuff will suddenly get all these views and engagement more than the new stuff. And then you're like, shit, am I going backwards? Because finally there's like empirical evidence to suggest you've gotten less funny. Or that people on TikTok preferred you when you were 28, which I think is reasonable.
That could
like,
be reasonable.
I'm 34 now. Like, I don't relate to anything those dumb cunts.
Oh, you don't look a day over 24.
Oh, thank you so much.
No
It's very
worries,
kind.
man. It's the red trackies.
You must have met some 24-year-olds who've had a rough life.
All of them addicts.
Yeah, so that's yeah, I think, I hope so. My wife said this thing, which I thought was really funny. Like, last year, I did my show, and like, you know, she came to see it. And she was like, I think that's the first time you've done an hour.
Okay.
Like, she's seen other hours, like about 5 or 6 of them at this point, and that was the first one that she considered like, yeah, that was a show. Well done, you finally did it. And I'm like, thanks, I think.
Thanks, babe.
This is hurtful, but also complimentary.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Were you proud of that hour?
Yeah, I think so, but then I like this one better, so I don't know.
Oh, so how often do you write? Like, so
When
was that hour compared to this one?
So I recorded that hour last December.
Okay.
That was when that's kind of recorded and whatever. And then this one, I've been doing it at the festivals. And like when I was on tour in the UK, I was doing it then. I'm doing it in Edinburgh. And then I'm doing an Australian tour at the back half of the year.
Oh, congratulations,
Thank
man.
you. Yeah, so that'll be done by then this December. And then I'll start again.
Nice. Well, how long does it take you to construct an hour?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like basically every year in Adelaide, you lose your mind because you're doing comedy at 10:30 p.m. in a fucking shipping container, and that's not a really great time to try things because everyone's hammered or tired or cold or all of the above, and there's a squirrel and that's funnier than you and more interesting, so they look at that and they come back to you, and then you're like, I'm fucked. I'm going to go to Melbourne and there's nothing. And then you go to Melbourne and people like it. And,
Yeah.
and then you kind
I
of
heard they like
fine-tune
a
it,
lot.
and then you fine-tune it, and then you go to Sydney, where I'm from, and it's fine, because, again, we can have the kind of shorthand that we're from Sydney, and I'm from Sydney, and I get it, and you're upset too, and I'm angry too, and there's none of this, like, kind of parochial small-town shit that you have to deal with when you're in the other parts of Australia, where everyone's like, isn't Melbourne nice? And it's like, I don't care. Like, I don't like anything here. Like, I don't
you really
enjoy
don't like
any...
Melbourne?
No, I don't like anywhere.
Oh.
Like, I don't get this. Do you like Perth?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Good. Well, yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know,
I've never thought about it.
but you could leave. They don't keep you here, do they? They don't lock you in the backstage in between shows. I could see it. I've never seen you outside. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, no.
Are you allowed out in
no.
between these
Oh, yeah, to get like water.
to get supplies?
Yeah.
This is your fucking Armageddon cabin. No, like I feel like in Sydney's the only place in Australia where you can say that it sucks here.
Okay.
Probably, maybe if you're from Sydney, like maybe it's one of those things where like anyone can say where they're from sucks.
Yeah.
But when you do it somewhere else, they get offended. But like, yeah, I really do feel like I can't. That's how I start in Sydney. I'm like, it's shit here, right? And everyone's like, yeah, we know. Like we do, and we can't leave, right? It's like, yeah, we know. Like that's it. I feel like people have this like completely unjustifiable, unnecessary attachment to where like they live. Like
Yeah.
for some reason it's good, and it's like, how many places genuinely are good? Like objectively not. Like you go to New York, one of the greatest cities in the world, and after 5 days you're like, this is terrible. I want to leave. It smells. It's so expensive. I'm overwhelmed, right?
Yeah.
And you're in London, you're like, this is nice, but again, it's expensive. It's kind of dirty. The weather's shit. Stabby. British people are unattractive. Like, that's not great. I want to leave. And like, why is it just because you live there it has to be good? Why can't you just be tolerating the shit place you live? Like everybody's doing. Like, but people are like, no, it's good though. Like Melbourne's crazy. Like, it's so good.
You reckon
Have you seen the alleyways? It's late night culture. There's a 24-hour Chinese. Like, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, do you reckon they're doing that on the Gaza Strip? Yeah, and this is fucking sick. I love it here. I'm never leaving. Just bombs.
Look, I mean, I don't want to oversimplify that conflict, but I think it's very important to both sides that they say that they want to be there and that they do love it there and that they're unwilling to leave. I think that's pretty much the basis of it. If either of them were like, hey, I heard Perth's pretty nice, that'd probably solve a few things. Sorry, that's so funny. Just like one of the great territorial conflicts of our time. Do you think they like it? Well, I think they're fucking saying they do. Pretty sure.
Oh, that's so good. Oh,
Yeah.
nice. So you leave to Edinburgh tomorrow, you said?
Tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
But I didn't know. You can fly direct to Edinburgh. I didn't know. Not from Perth. You
Oh.
guys can go direct to London, which is very impressive. But like, you can go to like Doha and then straight to Edinburgh, like Dubai, then straight to Edinburgh. I'm going to like London just to catch an expensive train to Edinburgh and back.
You can get a train?
I'm an idiot. Yeah, the train is really good. The train's good.
Okay.
London to Edinburgh, it's expensive though, but like it's good. It's like a nice experience generally. But like I just didn't think to look it up. Like at no point in my head was, maybe there's an airport in Edinburgh. Maybe, this major British capital might have some fucking planes that I could get on. I'm like, no, okay. I'm just spending 7 hours jet lagged in London, and then I get the train back after the Fringe. I have to spend like another few hours there.
The sleep would be
just
around on the
exhausted.
train, though, eh?
No, the train is midday.
Oh,
You can't sleep on it. It's too crowded. They got a whole cost of living thing.
it's not like
chaos.
a Harry Potter thing. I thought it was
There is
like...
there is a sleeper train. I got it like the first year I went up. There's one train that is overnight, and it's
Yeah?
got like beds and shit, and it's so creepy.
It's creepy.
It's creepy.
Like
Like-
Harry Potter, like with the Dementors come in. That's the only thing I know about
There's-
England, man.
There's no supernatural elements
Oh,
to the
damn
overnight
it.
train. Sorry. There's
Fuck. Well,
there's
then what's the point of going? Why are you getting the train?
just go, I don't like. Do you like flying? Do you enjoy it?
Into things? No, I'm joking. We were talking about Gaza Street. I need to do it.
Just keep the terrorism threat alive. Yeah, lovely.
Not really. I don't know. I'm
yeah.
not fast.
A train is just better. You can move around. There's a bit more space. Whereas like the plane, you got to get the airport and back. I mean, this is probably more logistics
Yeah.
than
no.
you were looking to cover in
No,
this
no,
interview.
I'm interested.
And I can only apologize. I'm really just becoming my dad. You know what I
the great
mean? Let's
art.
talk about the traffic and the weather. Let's go. Let's see, and how the traffic affects the weather and the weather affects the traffic.
So you're doing solo shows in Edinburgh.
Yes, and I'm also doing I do an Australian showcase
Oh,
every
cool.
year as well. It's called ACDC, Australian Comedians Dope Comedy.
Fuck yeah.
And
I love that.
It was so funny. I thought that was such a great name. And then last year, my friend was like, "Why didn't you call it Australian Comedians Do Comedy?" And I'm like, "Fuck, that is better."
Nah, I like dope comedy.
You like dope?
I
Oh,
like
thanks,
dope
man.
comedy.
I
Way
lost
better.
complete faith in it when that
Really?
other option was suggested.
Well,
Yeah.
I hope it's been restored. You're born again.
Thank you much. As a Catholic, I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, sorry. Nice. We've
an
touched
actual
on
physical
Muslims.
reshuffle.
Yeah, we had to fucking
Yeah,
whatever.
this is
I don't know.
basically a theology course at this point. Let's get all the monotheistic
Whoa,
faiths.
Jordan Peterson, get out of here. Yeah. Fucking hell. Cool. So you're doing an hour.
Yes.
The Australian showcase. So are there other Australian comics on that? Of course.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so
Three
who you
a
got?
day. I mean, it varies. Basically, any Australian person who's at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, I make sure we put on once because I
Oh,
want everyone to get a
nice.
go. And also, I allow New Zealanders to do the showcase because we have a reciprocal visa arrangement,
Oh, of course.
and I would like to honour that internationally when I can.
Oh, thank you so much for your service.
Look, we do what we can, but yeah, it is a shame. I feel like there's less Australians there this year than other years. Like I look at like the pool of comedians, and it's a bit smaller,
Okay.
which is a little bit of a shame. But I mean, it's one of those things, man. Like the whole Airbnb kind of ruining accommodation worldwide has really pinched the Edinburgh Fringe Festival because, like, just for an example, there's an accommodation crisis there, a housing crisis in general.
Okay.
But the Fringe housing affordability is a big issue, and like, you know, we'll pay between £2,000 and £3,000 for a month of accommodation, whereas like those flats would usually be like maybe 600, 800 for like the month outside of Fringe.
Okay.
Because these landlords there are
They
basically
up it.
like, we'll buy a property, we'll put it on Airbnb, we won't worry about whether it's rented or not at basically any point outside of the Edinburgh Fringe and Hogmanay, which is their New Year's Eve big thing.
Okay.
And yeah, it's almost like allowing a bunch of unregulated 2-bedroom hotels to pop up around the world was quite a short-sighted idea.
That's
And actually
such a good
allowed
comparison.
the landlords to make more money, which is not something I thought they lacked.
I know. Fucking, I do a podcast with this like TikToker.
Yeah.
And, he gets these like.
That's a very modern sentence, by the way. Yeah.
3 years ago that you never would have heard it.
What? Yeah.
But
please.
yeah, and this guy came on. He was like some landlord or whatever, and he starts ranting about. He's like, people get mad at landlords, but they're trying. We're all trying, and I'm like, come what?
Trying to do what?
Trying, like that's
make
the
money, you
That's the
fucking-
baseline. Like I can't get mad at you. I'm trying.
We're all
dude.
trying.
Like,
Yeah, you're mad at me. I'm trying. Dude, I saw, what was it? It was like, wait. I can't place it. No. That thing, landlords, damn it. It's gone. I had this thread. That's it. Sorry. This thing drives me insane. Like every landlord and just like old kind of boomery people in general. The thing they do where it's like, yeah, this guy made some really smart property investments. And I'm like, oh, was that being alive earlier? Because I think that might have been the clever decision. It's just like, oh, he was alive when you weren't and bought property.
That's it.
Real smart. Real fucking clever. It's like, was it? Oh, man, that's crazy. Like, he was able to, well, that's awesome. Like, for 20 grand, it just went up, like, naturally, even though he did nothing.
I don't think, he had like the map with the circumference and was like drawing it out.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, he knew where to invest. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, was that in the Western world? Was that where? Like, what do we do? This guy's really clever, is he? Absurd. It's like, it's so funny. They justify it. Like, they're smart.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you were alive. If you bought
It's so
property in the
true.
90s, that's a smart decision. I couldn't make it because I was 5. Like, that's not smart. That's just timing. Anyway. It's,
No,
It's
I
so
agree.
annoying.
I agree. I was just spiritually, like, emphatically
Oh,
living
thanks,
through
man.
you.
Thanks.
through that rant.
Thanks. I've always wanted to be a leader. Not a leader of men, a leader of man. I just want one
Yes.
real devoted follower.
Well, you're doing good, man.
Yes, the dream.
So because we're running out of time,
Sure.
I just wanted to ask you the last question. It was, how did you get in the comedy, man?
At university, I
Okay.
did law,
Law?
I did law, and
No wonder you know so much about real estate.
so much about real estate.
Yeah.
No, I fucking had tuned out by the time property 1 and 2 came up, to be fair. I did not pay a lot of attention. It's amazing how little I retained from that degree.
Yeah?
Like 5 years of my life, and you're like, hey, Dan, and I'm like, I got
Jeez.
nothing. I learned the notes. It was really funny because this is going to sound like a clang, but I promise it's not. I was hanging out with Chaz Luchadello from The Chaser, who's like another
Okay.
law kid. And we did the exact same thing at university, which was get some other people to make notes, learn those notes immediately before the like 80 to 100% exam.
Yep.
So not even the course, you learn the notes. You don't
That's
worry about
so
the
good.
overall picture. Just learn where things are, because it's all open book, right? Then you go in, smash the exam, forget everything forever. That was my university education. I was an expert in torts for like 17 hours. And it was just the crucial 17, you know?
Nice.
But yeah, when I was doing law, this guy, Justin Locke, I always give him credit, always drop the name. He was like, Dan, you should do comedy sometime if you want to, you know, just do the stand-up night. And I did it at UNSW, which is not known for anything creative. It's like a STEM uni,
Okay.
like one of those. And like, yeah, I did it. And the first one went pretty well. And the second one went horribly. I tried to do like some fucking abortion joke. And I was like,
As you do.
As
2
you do. You
times
gotta
in. You tackle the big
let's
things
push the
when you're not
envelope.
prepared, you know?
Hey, 22-year-old boy. let's talk about abortion with some confidence, huh? Are you a virgin? I wasn't a virgin, but may as well have been. But yeah, and that went so badly that I didn't do it again for ages. And then I went to visit my girlfriend at the time in New York. And basically, we'd been in this long-distance relationship. It wasn't going great. And she was like just living her life. And then I kind of turned up and she's like, oh, God, do I want this here? So I didn't have a lot of time with her. So I did open mics in New York. And then
Oh, wow.
I did about 30 of them. And I
Okay.
was terrible. And I came back to Sydney. My friend was like, hey, we should start a comedy night. Sign up on the night. We did. And it was called Mug and Kettle. And then that just kind of grew. And then I kept kind of doing it. I was so bad for so long. Like, you know, some people are good when they start. No, that's a lie. No one is. They're all garbage. But like, some
Someone had
people
to
are
say.
better. Some people like had the concept of a joke.
Yeah.
I think it took me like maybe 7 months
Oh, wow.
to like have a joke.
Nice.
Just like the first one, not a good one. Just like, you know, setup, punchline, predictable results. You know, like all that stuff. And yeah, just kind of kept going, and the other shit dropped away. And yeah, now it's my full-time job, and I have to pay tax on it. Probably to fucking landlords.
Oh, nice.
Well, there you go.
That's so cool that a mate got you into it, right? Are you guys still in contact? You still?
Yeah, he still comes to shows every now and again.
wow.
Weirdly, he was part of a comedy duo with Jordan Shanks, aka Friendly Geordies.
No way.
So yeah, Jordan Shanks was at uni, I think maybe a year or two below me.
Okay.
Yeah, and so like he kind of like, yeah, obviously his thing's blown up like
He's
way
very
hard.
popular now, yeah.
Yeah, and like, you know, doing something very unique in Australia, like kind of occupying like an accessible left-wing point of view, which I think is good.
It's quite refreshing, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. So, you know, a couple of funny people coming out of UNSW. Who knew?
Yes.
Who knew?
Represent. Represent the Gaza Strip, baby. Well, thank you so much for meeting with us today, Daniel.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
The pleasure was all mine. Thank you for coming.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Daniel Muggleton. Look out for his show if you're in Edinburgh. And yeah, take care. Fuck landlords.